Hi everyone! Welcome to Artsonia's After School Art Club. Today we have a fun art project from Miss Tvedten, an art teacher from South Carolina. Hope you enjoy the video and don't forget to have your artwork uploaded to your Artsonia gallery.
Hello Artsonia Art Club. I'm Miss Tvedten and I'm an art teacher here in South Carolina. Today I'm going to show you how I created these faux palette paintings. So faux means not real. I didn't use paint to create this painting of a palette, which is what an artist puts their paints on. I used just markers, water, a paintbrush, and then I'll talk to you also about these pens. So some different examples here. So I'll show you not only how I did the faux painting technique, but also how to draw a painter's palette. And again, all you need to create this artwork are water-soluble markers, so any kind of markers will do. They can be washable or not washable. They just need to be water-soluble markers, like not a Sharpie. You will, however, need some drawing material that is not water-soluble. So you can use Sharpie. In the example, I use a Sharpie. But if you don't have access to a Sharpie, you could use just a black crayon would work, because if you draw with crayon and then you paint with water over it, the crayon would not be disturbed by the water. So crayon would work well for that. And it's a lot of fun, so let me show you how I created these faux palette paintings.
Alrighty guys, so what you can see here is me creating this project, and I have it in fast forward so that you can see the whole process but in a shortened amount of time. And there again is a palette, which is the term that refers to an artist's set of paints, or where they mix their paints, or even the colors of paint they choose. Now to draw your palette, I'm starting here first with pencil so I can make sure I get it just how I like it. I'm drawing the top of a paintbrush, a little half circle. That's the ferrule, what holds the bristles in, those little lines. Then the shape of a palette, kind of a kidney bean shape, lining up the bottom of the brush, adding some little divots where the ferrule is attached, some circles for my areas of color, and voila, you have a palette. Now you can add another brush to make it more advanced, or even change the shape of the tip of that brush. If you want, what you could do is you could look up online examples of palettes, or you could pause my drawing to copy it. Now after I've gotten my palette how I like it, I'm tracing over it with Sharpie. And again, for this step, if you would prefer to use crayon, that's fine. You just want this to be something that's not going to dissolve, so not your black marker. And then I'm going ahead and signing my work there at the bottom with that permanent marker, or crayon if that's what you're using. This is optional, and I wouldn't do this if you used crayon because it could smear your crayon lines, but I'm erasing my pencil lines so that they don't show up. That's a personal choice. Some artists like to show that, and some prefer to erase that evidence of their work in progress. Now what I'm doing is I'm taking a brown marker and I'm outlining the interior outline of that palette, that wooden palette. So I'm just going around the whole inside, and I'm being mindful just to keep the edges of that area outside the palette with no marker at all, because that's just going to remain white. I'm also outlining the exterior area of my little paint places where my colors will go. And you'll see now that what I'm going to do is just take a brush. I'm not worried where some marker got there. There's one that's already finished, and that was just a smudge from my hand. I'm taking a brush just with clean water, and there's a bunch of different brushes. But I've got a brush here just with water, and I'm going to paint that whole palette area. You can see even that smudge where it dissolved. And the water dissolves the marker ink, and that ink becomes paint. So you can use this technique for lots of different projects. I like it for this one because I really love the way the brown looks. In the end, the effect that it gives not only is a paint-like effect, but it also looks a lot like a real wood, which a lot of palettes, well, old-timey palettes were made of wood. So that's one of the things I really like about this technique for this subject matter, because I get to use a lot of that brown. I've done it before with an owl, and that looks really pretty too. Now that I've gotten that done, I'm going to wait to do the colored areas. Now this black is your marker black, like your water-soluble black. black also looks beautiful with this technique. Look at how the colors even start to separate. You'll get blues, and depending on the black and the ingredients they use to create that black ink, sometimes you'll get some purples and greens. It's just really pretty the way the color starts to separate once you wet it. It's bleeding in a little bit there with the brown. I'm not worried about that. And with the paint areas, like these colored areas, and I'm just doing them in color wheel or rainbow order, I'm not using the wet technique for that. I'm just coloring them all in. It's such a small area, and so I'm just coloring them in. And then there's the silver or the gray to represent the silver for the ferrule of the brush. That's what holds the bristles in. Little details there on the bristles of my paintbrush, and then continuing in to color this. So, and that's really all there is to it, guys. If you wanted to paint those areas, you could, but I think they look good just colored in. Voila!
All right, Artsonia Art Club. I hope you enjoyed today creating your very own faux palette painting. Don't forget to, after your artwork is finished, to take a photograph of it, upload it to your Artsonia portfolio so that it can be shared with your fan club and your friends and your family there on Artsonia. All right, enjoy it and have a great day. Bye now.